and I want him to give all the socials or where people can find you.
Okay.
Because we want to start with that. So give them all your social medias.
So what's up, guys? My name is Zonii. I'm kind of like a master producer. I've been doing music for 15 years now. Original content. Definitely started from the bottom, worked my way up. Definitely made bad music for years, and now I'm making classic hits. So I ain't got no problem with that. If you guys want to follow me on social media, you can follow me at Zonii World. So it's ZONII World. I'm pretty sure you guys know how to spell world. If you want to follow me on Twitter or like SoundCloud or Spotify, again, it's just going to be Zonii. If it's on Twitter, Zonii World, ZONII World.
Dope. Thank you. So you're an artist, and I've heard your music. Like y'all know who comes around here. Y'all know the type of artists that we have. Y'all know the vibe. Like, we have some real monsters around here. When I say that this is another monster, another just sonically possessed, just the sounds that came out of the speaker were so profound.
Thank you, bro.
I was like, you made those noises? You made those noises. You did that.
Bro, honestly, that day when I saw James's face, I saw your face, it was like, almost like, I'm not gonna lie, I was wearing sunglasses, but I teared up a little bit because I was just like, I know how much of an impact music can be and how it can impact other people or how it can make them feel. Like, you ever listen to a song and your arm hairs stick up and shit? You get the goosebumps? Yeah, that's from the sonics of the song that allows you to be like, oh my God, I love this. Mm-hmm. I saw that when I was in the studio with you showing my music, and I saw it with James, and the words that he said about my music, literally, it gave me a tear to my eye. I was like, this is amazing. Like, thank you for the appreciation of what I do in my art.
Yeah. Hella dope, man. It did resonate with me deeply. And like the way you describe that connection, that's 100% what it is. Like, when you like something and it hits you like that, it's dope because like I meet a lot of artists that should be like as big as an artist as you can think. And they're on the ascend up. Like, like this person in your bubble is going to be one of those people for decades, like a household type of person. Can you describe your start in music, like what inspired you to get into music, and then also what your style of music is?
Yeah, absolutely. So when it came to music and me starting, I had no idea where to even start. I mean, I was 12 and a half going on 13, and I heard about a rave. And I was like, what the fuck is a rave, And all my friends, everybody, when you're young like that, you want to, live free, young, wild, whatever. But I went to this rave, and I was like, I've never even seen anything like this. And I was on the East Coast. I have been all across the U.S., but I lived in Maine. So, like, we're over here, West Coast. Maine's, like, the complete opposite of the United States, like, over by Canada almost. So we're in the woods, and I go to this rave, and it just, like, caught my eye. Like, the music was dope. Like, the girls, the attire, like, like even dudes that I had like met that were cool, like the vibes, like they like had like this culture that I didn't really understand. So it'd be like if I went into like a place with a bunch of monks, right, I would be like, kind of confused. I wouldn't really understand it, but they have a culture. So I didn't understand this rave culture, and I loved it. I would party. Kept going to events. I would experiment with like trippy drugs like psychedelics or like whatever, Molly, and I got to a point where I was like, man, I'm getting older. I'm like, I would see people die at raves. I would see, not a medical staff or anybody to help with it. And that blew my mind. So I'm like, okay, this is kind of scary. This is like, my feelings were confused. And I was like, all right, I don't want to end up like that. If I keep partying, if I keep experimenting, that could be me. And it caught my awareness, and I ended up, like going to these shows and doing it sober. And I started to really realize that I love the music. This music, I never heard nothing like this. This is different. This ain't rock. This ain't hip hop. This ain't pop music. This is different. And I wanted to learn how to make music. So the people that I had gone to these shows, these raves, whatever, I had met so many people, right? Good people, bad people, whatever. And so I picked, my friend Matt. He was an artist, a producer, and he used Ableton. And he was like, yo, come to the studio. And I'm like, oh shit, I'll go to the studio. I had no idea. It was a home studio. He lived in like a big house or whatever, but the studio was really dope. And I learned a lot watching them, and I kept going through, kept hanging out, whatever, and it influenced me to, buy a computer. And I'm like, all right, I got a computer. What do I do with this? And, I had no idea. I was completely clueless. So I started learning how to make music, and I got, excited, and I went through like, yo, Pete, my SoundCloud, you got to check this out. Yo, I only got 20 plays, but can you be the 21st person, please? Went through so many phases as an artist, like good things, bad things, and the music just kept getting better. And I had a friend named Josh when I lived in San Francisco, and I, looked up to him. He was kind of like a mentor of mine, and he ran a club called DNA Lounge in San Francisco. A lot of people know about it. And they do like electronic shows.
Yeah.
So when I was living in SF, I would, be like, yo, check out this song. I think this is the one, like spinning records. Like someone big's they're going to fuck with it. They're going to sign it.
Yeah.
And he said, this is trash. This is garbage. No one's going to go to the studio, fix everything. It's bad. And it really like took a big toll on me. I was like, damn, it's been like 2 years.
It hit that ego a little bit.
I was like, damn, 2 years. Like, and I'm not even, oh man, like, should I just stop? And I never stopped. I'm a Taurus.
Yeah.
What's your sign?
Aquarius.
Aquarius. All right. Cool.
My son's Aquarius. My moon and rising are Leo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like for me, like everyone knew me as just like Cash. That was my name. My real name is Cash, and everyone now knows me as Zonii.
Yeah.
And so like when I would go to these shows, these raves, I started.
Dude, Cash is a dope name too.
Thank you.
Like,
hey, but
like either one.
Hey, Cash isn't a dope name if you're out at the club though, or if you're out. So imagine a family dinner. What's your name? Oh God, my name's Cash. I don't know. That's like, but if I say Zonii, they're like, oh Tony, like what's up, Tony?
Yeah.
I'm like, sure, yeah, I'll be Tony.
Yeah,
Fuck
sure.
yeah, whatever. So for me, like all the like experience and the things that I went through as an artist to get like even where I'm at now, and everyone always can grow. Everyone always has room to, when you're an artist, it never stops.
Mm-hmm.
There is no like, oh, I hit a wall of I'm this good, and that it just keeps going, and it's here forever.
I think that's why your vibe fits in so well here at SongLab, because we're really all about collaborating and educating. Like, we know that we don't know everything there is to know about creating music or putting your music out to get more exposure, but we've learned quite a bit in that process, and we are helping artists get that game as well. So like a lot of times artists don't know something and we don't know it, so we learn it together. Like, let's just figure out this process together, and then once we know it, we have that in our bank. You know what I mean? And that's the you can leverage up in different aspects as far as resources and finances, but then leveraging up your knowledge and your information, like that is one of the biggest keys. If anyone takes anything away, like keep learning shit every day and hone that skill. So thank you for telling me how you got started in music.
Yeah, absolutely.
My next question is like, what have been like the ups and downs of the industry for you? Like maybe like what's one of your highest points and then one of your lowest points, and then like, what did you learn in those situations?
Man, so this one's gonna really like hit home. Like anybody that's like tuning in like on my Instagram, anybody that is gonna watch this podcast, right? Your question that you just said really hit home, because when it comes to being an artist, there are so many things that you learn, right? And like, let's just say it's like hypothetically like learning to do like build a house. Do you know how to build a house? Me either. But I could probably learn how to build a house, and that would take X amount of years, and I probably still wouldn't learn how to build a house, because you need more than one person to build a house. So for me, with my art and for my music, going through all of these trials and error. Like if I try to build a house right now, I'd probably build a little like tree house in it and then fall and break my leg or some shit, you know? But when it comes to like the music, right, I feel like what I've learned and the experience of everything is that yes, there are ups and there are downs. And sometimes it might be so far down you might end up in a grave, or you might end up not alive. There's a lot of big artists that are influential people like Mac Miller. Like he did so many great things, and he's not around here anymore. That's sad as fuck. Like there's a lot of these big artists that have done amazing things. Look at 50 Cent. That guy got shot in the face, was homeless, made a movie about it. Like, dude, this guy been through it. Like, for me, I'm in the electronic music industry, and it's a lot different. So for me, like, the ups of working in the EDM industry, did I ever think I'd be on tour? I never thought I'd be on tour. That was like, that's never going to happen, but it'd be cool if it did, and it did.
Yeah.
So it opened my horizon, my view of, oh, wow, if I can do this, then how much bigger can we make this? Like, what else are we capable of doing? Even as a producer, being in the studio with, like, other artists or, like, people that, like, I never thought I'd be in the studio with. Like, I might as well just say it because this is a long time ago. It was, like, maybe, like, 4 or 5 years ago. I was in the studio with Metro Boomin in Mexico.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I did not think I'd ever be in the studio with anybody. I was in the studio with Corrupt. He's like the OG, like with like Jamie Foxx and like with like Snoop and like these people that I never thought I'd be around. Even living in LA, I met so many celebrities, so many like political things that people don't even like talk about because it's like, it's just something that's kind of like behind the curtains, and it's probably better that way. If the, you know, US knew about certain things, it would be a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
Now, bad things about like working in the industry is that like not everything works out and not everything is money. And it's like, you know, if you're an artist, you want to make money doing your art, right? But it's like really hard for you to get accepted or get in somewhere or work with people or have someone who believes in what you're doing. And that's why it's like nowadays it's like TikTok, Instagram, like, oh, you get 1 million views on TikTok, let's turn you into a star. But like, what about the music? Like, what about like the core of like making good art? Because I know so many people who are billionaires, live in LA, live in the Hill, got a mansion, they're all there, whatever, and they don't do really anything that has to do with music, but they're in the position as a icon of music.
Yeah.
So it's like
interesting too, like that discovery.
The discovery
of how things like really move and shake.
Exactly. And when it does move and shake, it's something that takes a toll on the artist, and it's about how you manage it, how you save your energy for where you put it out. And once you do put it out, it's like everyone's going to take it in different ways. Like if you put a song out and it's got like a subliminal message or something, some people will take it one way, some people will take it another way. Just like rappers, if they say one thing about somebody, someone puts a verse that says Cardi B, if it's something bad about Cardi B, you best believe that if that's a Billboard hit track, that a week goes by and she's going to be sitting there on Instagram or Twitter or whatever calling you out because of your verses. So it's like everything matters as an artist and when you're growing, and how you can make an impact on the world to make it honestly a better place. It's 2023.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. Like everything matters with sound and what vibrations you put out there into the world. Everything matters, whether you're singing, tapping, like you can make a choice of the type of vibration you want to emit. With that, we're going to pivot to my man's over here. He's an entrepreneur too, is what I just found out. Like my man is cooking up some really dope things that y'all are gonna hear about, and we might even talk about aliens a little bit. So the background might look green.